Have you ever walked into a room and just instantly felt a shift in the atmosphere? Like maybe a sudden drop in a friend's energy, or a super quick unspoken glance between two coworkers, or even just the low hum of a fluorescent light that nobody else seems to even hear. Do you ever feel like you literally notice absolutely everything? Well, for some of us, the world isn't just a place we walk through. It's something we absorb. Every tiny detail, every shifted emotion, every subtle change, it all just registers with crystal clarity. If that resonates with you, I really want you to know right off the bat, you are not alone. And honestly, more importantly, you're definitely not imagining it. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a really compassionate investigation into a mind that pretty much never rests. We're looking at what it truly means to be too aware. Through the lens of psychology and how our nervous systems actually behave, we're going to uncover the hard science and the hidden costs of this constant perception. We're exploring exactly why noticing everything is this incredibly remarkable gift, but also a profound source of exhaustion, and how ultimately we can find some balance. Let's kick things off with Section 1, The Anatomy of an Overactive Mind, where we'll explore the subjective experience. So to really ground our understanding here, let's look at evidence-based psychology. This whole experience of hyper-awareness, it's highly documented. You've probably heard terms thrown around like highly sensitive person or HSP, an empath. We're talking about individuals who are naturally prone to hyper-awareness, overthinking, and experiencing deep empathy. They just naturally absorb all those subtle environmental details. And I want to be super clear here. This isn't a flaw, and it's certainly not a clinical diagnosis. It's just a recognized, naturally occurring trait. It's simply a different way that a human being is wired to interact with the world around them. But because of this specific trait, you end up with a mind that rarely, if ever, rests. When your baseline state is just taking in every single subtle shift in tone, body language, and the environment, your brain gets caught in this endless loop of processing. It's constantly analyzing all this incoming data to ensure safety and harmony. Think of it kind of like a computer with, 50 tabs open, and they're all refreshing at the exact same time. The CPU is running hot, the fan is screaming, and the battery is just draining rapidly. It makes total sense then that this constant state of perception naturally sets the stage for a very specific kind of physical and emotional fatigue. Moving right along to Section 2, the nervous system connection. Let's look at how psychology and biology actually drive this awareness. Now, let's talk about the actual mechanical difference in the brain. A typical nervous system is incredibly efficient at filtering out background emotional noise and subtle stimuli. It basically just prioritizes what's immediately necessary for survival or whatever task you're doing, leaving the rest sort of blurred out. But a hyper-aware system, it doesn't have that same filter. It absorbs all those emotional and sensory subtleties continuously. It literally registers the background noise as primary data. So your nervous system is working overtime, cataloging things that most people's brains just automatically discard. And this exact biological setting, this lack of a filter, is the very foundation for the science of deep empathy. Because you're absorbing so much subtle data about the people around you, like microexpressions, tiny vocal inflections, slight changes in posture, your brain is able to construct this incredibly accurate picture of exactly what they're feeling. It gives individuals this beautiful connecting gift of true empathy. But, as we're about to see, carrying the emotional weight of an entire room, that is a very heavy gift indeed. Which brings us to Section 3, the hidden costs of empathy. Or what happens when constant perception turns into fatigue. There's often this incredibly stark contrast between what is seen on the outside and what is actually felt on the inside. Externally, people who are quote-unquote too aware frequently appear exceptionally calm, steady, and highly empathetic to others. They are the peacemakers, the great listeners. But internally, well, they're often mentally exhausted, emotionally saturated, and surprisingly feeling really disconnected. It's basically a survival mechanism. You present this calm mask to manage the environment, while inside there's a silent chaos unfolding just to keep up with the massive sensory load. And man, these hidden costs stack up quickly. First, you have the mental exhaustion from overthinking. When you notice everything, you analyze everything, it's exhausting. Second, there's emotional saturation from just absorbing everyone else's feelings. You're acting like an emotional sponge, and eventually a sponge just cannot hold another drop of water. Third, you get this profound sense of feeling disconnected. And this is the tragic irony, right? Despite having such high empathy, the sheer overwhelm can force you to detach just to survive, leaving you feeling totally isolated even in a crowded room.
That is the true hidden cost of constant perception.
It all really boils down to one profound truth. Awareness can turn into fatigue. Empathy is an absolutely beautiful trait, but without proper regulation, this incredible gift will inevitably, inadvertently drain your life force.
So let's look at how we manage this in Section 4, finding peace through boundaries, and how we go about transforming that sensitivity into clarity. The absolute most vital thing to remember as we talk about this is this. It is not about shutting your mind down. The goal of this explainer is absolutely not to tell you to stop caring, or to somehow harden your heart, or to somehow magically wire your brain to stop noticing things. That's impossible. And honestly, it would rob the world of your empathy. Instead, it's about learning how to live gently with your nervous system. It's about how to be too aware, but protecting your peace at the exact same time. So, how do we actually find that balance? Well, we follow a compassionate framework. Step 1, recognize emotional saturation early. Pay attention to your body. You know when you feel that tightness in your chest or that sudden urge to just detach. Acknowledge that the sponge is full. Step 2, establish gentle boundaries to protect your energy. This means it is 100% okay to step out of the room, to say no to an energy-draining conversation, or to simply limit your sensory input for a bit. And finally, step 3, maintain presence while preserving inner peace. By actively using those boundaries, you allow yourself to stay present with the people you love, because you aren't fighting a constant losing battle against overwhelm. Your boundaries become the filter your nervous system didn't naturally build. When you combine a deep understanding of your own nervous system with the daily practice of gentle boundaries, something truly amazing happens. You begin transforming your raw sensitivity into absolute clarity and peace. Your awareness stops being this relentless source of mental exhaustion, and instead it becomes a finely tuned, incredibly powerful tool. You get to keep your profound empathy, the best part of you, but you stop paying for it with your own well-being.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer. I really hope this journey has brought you some validation and maybe a fresh perspective on your own remarkable mind. Your awareness is a powerful, beautiful force. So I want to leave you with this question to reflect on. Now that you understand the science and the hidden cost, how will you choose to wield your awareness tomorrow? Are you going to let it drain you, or will you protect it with the boundaries it so deeply deserves? Thanks so much for learning with